Hey everyone, hope you're having a wonderful day today. Well, it's been a busy week as I just finished up a show for the Salt City Reptile Expo yesterday, and I've got another show that's coming up next week. But today's video is prompted by one of my viewers who had asked me about what do I use for a incubator for my ball pythons. And I explained to them that I actually built my own incubator as they were asking me about the sea serpents and the Will Banks incubators and if I've used them or what my opinion was on them. And I told them I built my own, and I went over and explained a little bit more about that. But I also told them I'd talk about it on the channel so they could get a little bit of a better idea. So that's what I'm going to share today with all of you, is one of my incubators that I built, that I use right here at Python Addiction to incubate all of the eggs that I have. So stick around. I'm Jack, and you're watching Python Addiction. Hey everyone, thanks for joining today. So today's video is gonna be about incubators and what I use here, and as kind of a response to the customer that I talked with yesterday about my incubator, and a way to show all of you guys what I actually use here. Now, I have two incubators that I built, and they're built very similarly, so I'm only going to be showing off the top one as I stack them. But this gives you an idea of what I went through as far as the thought process when building them, and we're going to jump right into this. So here's this first clip here of the incubator, and you guys have probably seen this if you're a regular viewer of the channel in past videos with all the stickers on the front. Both of my incubators are glass front, so I can see in them without having to open them. But on the top, what I put right on the top of the incubator is the thermostat, and I use the Husbandry.pro 2 because that gives me independent control over two different sources, being both incubators. So it's a little bit of a space savings of having the Husbandry.pro 2, and it has the feature of dimming, which I think is very important to have for an incubator to make sure that you're getting consistent temperatures. Now, the other thing that's up there, and a couple of people have asked me before from the other videos, what the heck is that big black box? It's a UPS. It's a battery backup that is normally used for like computer equipment and stuff like that. I use it as a short-term power backup option in case I have a small power outage or something here at the house. I can literally, that automatically kicks on and gives me about 2 hours worth of power that will hold both of the incubators at temperature without any issues or concerns before I have to actually go through and get my generator running up if I have eggs in the incubator. This next clip here shows you the inside, and you can see going from the top down. In the back, I used 12-inch heat tape to heat the incubator itself, and I used some aftermarket shelving to create the shelves in this particular incubator, as it didn't come when I found it on the Facebook marketplace. It didn't have any shelving in it, so I had to get something that would fit in there. I actually went to Home Depot and got some of the wire shelving that would go in a closet, cut it down to size, and it works absolutely perfect. Now the shelves are angled ever so slightly to the back, so there's a little bit of an incline. And as I've mentioned in a couple of my other egg boxing videos, I do the incline so whenever there's condensation that builds up on the press and seal that I use to cover my egg boxes, it rolls to the back, then slides down the backside of the bins that I use to make sure that the condensation from the humidity doesn't drop right onto the eggs. So it's one of those things that I thought about when building this, was making sure that I had just an ever so slight angle to the back to have that feature there. I also have LED lights that I put into it, and as you can see from this clip here, I have a circulating fan that I installed to the top ceiling portion of this cooler, and I hang my probe from the top instead of putting it on one of the shelving units itself. Now, when it came to actually running the power and all of that kind of stuff, I tried to use some of the holes that were already existing when I pulled all of the condenser unit stuff out of the cooler when I was going through the process of gutting it. I reused some of those holes, siliconed everything in. I only had to drill one hole, and that hole, I put it in the upper corner to bring the power and the fan control in for the fan that was mounted at the top and for my probe to come in. And I sealed that back off actually using a rubber grommet around the wires to push it back into the hole that I had drilled. So if I need to replace the probe or anything like that, I can just take that rubber grommet out, put a new probe in, and then put that grommet back in, and I still have that nice sealed environment in the incubator itself. Now, when it comes to humidity control and stuff like that, I do all of my humidity control in the boxes that I'm doing themselves. The water bottles that you see in the incubator are for heat. I use those as heat sinks. So when the incubator is operating at its full force, because I set my thermostat at 89 degrees even, it gets 89 degrees in there. The water gets to 89 degrees. So it's another backup of, number one, creating a environment that has as consistent a temperature as possible, and some fail-safe if the power goes out, to where you don't get major temperature dips during a power outage. So I have those water bottles in there, and I have the UPS as safety features to make sure that I have success in my breeding operations when I'm doing the breeding of the ball pythons or even my corn snakes. And that's the other reason why I have two incubators, is I can have two different temperatures if I'm incubating multiple different species type of thing. So it gives me that, or a backup option. Say one of the incubators fails, I always have a backup incubator in that regards there as well. So there you guys have it. That's a very quick rundown of what I use here as far as an incubator. It's a really nice cost savings option that's also eco-friendly, because it's repurposing a otherwise dead unit that, again, I found both of my coolers on Facebook, and they were both under $40. I think I paid $20 for the top one, and I think I paid like $25 or $30 for the bottom one. They were both advertised as compressors, not working, not cooling, and I didn't care. I gutted all of that stuff anyways because I didn't need them to cool. So it was a great option to recycle units that would have probably otherwise gone to the trash dump. So it's a great way to save a little bit of money there. Again, is it better or worse than the more commercial products like what Sea Serpents builds with the PVC ones, or with what Will Banks offers with their unit that offers both cooling and heating, which could be a great option if you have lots of colubrids and you need to do brumation. You can actually use a Will Banks because it offers the ability to have either cooling or heating. That's not something that I can do here because it pulled all the cooling stuff out and I couldn't control it to that higher temperature cooling that you would need anyways. So it's things to take into consideration depending on what you're particularly working with when it comes to reptile breeding or snake breeding in general. If you're looking for specific guides into building something like what I built, let me know in the comments below. I currently don't have another cooler to actually do a build video with, but if enough of you want to see how it's done, step-by-step process, let me know in the comments below, and I'll look at sourcing another build or another cooler to actually do a build guide for you guys. It's not that difficult. Pretty much anybody can do it with just a few simple tools. So, but if you guys like today's video, please do hit that thumbs up button, as that lets me know that you like this type of stuff. And if you've made it this far into my video, and if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe. And while you're at it, turn on that notification icon. I try to do new videos at least once a week. So until next time, I love you all. I'm Jack, and this is Python Addiction.